Now basically, the deal with the level 1 pure build for Oblivion is you have to remember in Morrowind the game wasn't leveled. So I mean, monsters were what monsters were. Like if there was a level 20 monster, he was level 20. Didn't matter if you were level 1, didn't matter if you were level 60. That monster's level 20. If you can't beat it, okay, fuck it. You gotta, go train, get some levels, and then come back later when you're strong enough to kill it. And that was just what it was. When they switched to Oblivion, they kind of changed it a little bit, and they made it so that all the in-game items, all the in-game monsters and stuff, with the exception of like a few like boss monsters and stuff, all the levels are all the everything is leveled. So if you're level 1, you're only going to find iron and steel and stuff. You're not going to find any like crazy Dwemer shit or Daedric shit. Same goes for monsters. If you're level 1, of course you're going to find like goblins and mud crabs and shit. But you're not going to be finding all sorts of crazy, Daedra and stuff. And, if you are finding Daedra, they're going to be lower level Daedra. They're going to be holding much weaker weapons. They're not going to be holding actual Daedric weapons. That kind of stuff. The whole game, it changes around your level. So if you can keep your level where it is at level 1, I mean your main character level. If you can keep your main character level at level 1 while raising all of your other skills around it, you essentially have an overpowered level 1 character, which the world still treats as a normal level 1 character. However, you're walking around with, like level 100 blade, level 100 this, level 100 that, and you're just fucking plowing through people because you're this, all fucking mighty being. So without further ado, let's get into this. I think this intro has been suffice. So first of all, race doesn't really matter. We're just going to stick with Redguard just because that's what we are. In terms of birth sign, it doesn't really matter much either. I would say strength and endurance are probably, you're basically gonna want something that you're not gonna be able to get already. So like the steed, I mean, you can set your minor skills to athletics and get a little bit of speed. I mean, you won't be able to increase your speed attribute, but you can at least increase your athletics. So you can get speed in some sort of way. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend the steed. The warrior would be a great option because it permanently increases your strength and endurance, which will come in handy for encumbrance and for health. So that's probably what I'm going to end up choosing. But there are a couple other good options that give you permanent bonuses like that. Like there's a 50-point bonus to Magicka. That would definitely come in handy if you're making a magic build. All sorts of stuff. I'm not going to get too far into that. You can make your own decisions on that. But I'm going to go with the warrior because of that 10 strength and endurance bonus there, because you have to remember you're not going to be able to increase any of your attributes, period, because you're going to be staying level 1. I mean, you can use enchantments to increase them, but in terms of their permanent level, you're not going to be able to increase it. So we're going to be born under the sign of the warrior. So we're going to edit the class, the Jenksi NIG. Yeah, that is what it is. I made this a long time ago. This has just been the file. Anyway, so we're going to go with combat, of course. Actually, it makes you progress more quickly in these. Okay, yeah, so this just makes you progress more quickly in, melee stuff. So that makes sense. We might as well go with this. And then here we go again. You get a +5 to each one. So again, you want to choose something that you know is going to help you, because you have to remember you're not going to get any chances to increase any of this stuff afterwards. So I'm going to go with strength and endurance once again, just because we're going to be staying level 1, so I want my health and I want my strength to be as high as they can out of the gate. And I know that Redguards actually have high strength and endurance, so that'll also be helpful for this build in particular. So that is also a thing. Now here's the actual heart of this. So in both Morrowind and Oblivion, you have your major skills and you have your minor skills. There's a little bit of a difference where in Morrowind your major and your minor skills will both affect your character level, and then you have miscellaneous skills that do not affect your character level. Whereas in Oblivion, they just made it a little bit simpler. They had major skills and they had minor skills. Major skills are the ones that affect your character level, and minor skills do not. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to set your 7 major skills to 7 skills that you know for a fact that you're never ever going to use. I repeat, you want to make sure that you're never ever going to use these. So if you're making a warrior build, you're going to want most of these points to be in like little magic schools and stuff. Alchemy might come in handy, so I'm not going to put that one in yet. Alteration, we'll throw that one out right away. Armor, athletics, that's all pretty handy. Block, blunt, that is going to be pretty easy to accidentally use, so we're just gonna keep that going. So conjuration, we don't need that. Destruction, we're gonna have to say goodbye to that too. Hand to hand, I don't really need it. We'll come back to that. We'll keep that as like a secondary possibility there. Illusion, we don't need that. No, let's see, again with the armors and stuff, you never know what'll be best at what time. Marksman, we're probably gonna end up using that. Mercantile, that's one of those unavoidable things. That's another thing too, is that you have to remember that some of these skills are unavoidable. Things like athletics, and acrobatics are pretty much completely unavoidable. I mean, acrobatics, you can kind of try not to jump ever in the game, but I mean, try never jumping in an Elder Scrolls game. You'll end up jumping at some point. Or you'll end up falling or whatever, and you're gonna get your acrobatics up. So athletics and acrobatics, absolutely do not select those as major skills, because you will, for certain, end up leveling up your character by accident. So you want to make sure that you're not accidentally leveling up your character here. So we're going to do mysticism again. We're going to skip restoration, and like part of me wants to keep restoration, but the other part of me knows that I can use a glitch to get as many potions as I want. So we're going to say fuck restoration. So far that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need one more. I don't really want to toss alchemy. Then again, I don't really need alchemy either. Because yeah, I can just duplicate potions. So that one I think we're going to throw out the window, and I think we're good. But yeah, I mean, things like speechcraft, mercantile, I mean, if you plan on talking to anybody, if you plan on selling anything to anybody, you're going to end up using those. You're going to end up using sneak. You're going to end up using, like, there's all sorts of stuff that you're going to end up using. So I mean, it's kind of hard depending on what kind of build you're making. You just kind of have to try your best to not use the stuff that you have as a major skill. So yeah, we have alchemy, alteration, conjuration, and destruction. Alchemy is also another tough one. Whether or not you're making potions, you can also eat plants, and that'll raise your alchemy level a little bit. So you kind of gotta play it by ear a little bit with that one. So hopefully we don't fuck up on the whole alchemy thing at all. That should be good. We're gonna stay with Jenksy NIG just to keep it real, and we're gonna call it good. You'll see here, I got 130 health, so that's pretty decent. We got 200 fatigue, again, decent. And we have 325 encumbrance. So I mean, we're doing pretty good considering we're level 1. But the thing is that those numbers are going to stay like that unless we get any enchantments that make any difference there. So what we're going to do is we're going to see how we fare against some... Actually, fuck, I shouldn't have done this quite yet. Alright, so we got ourselves some equipment here. Now, I tried to get myself some stuff that I know I can get at level 1. I know you can get chainmail for sure at level 1. And I got myself a fine steel longsword, because I know this can be obtained from one of the fighters guilds in one of the cities somewhere. I know you can get one off of a rack if you're a member of the fighters guild. So I know that this is all stuff that you can 100% get at level 1. Trying to keep it at stuff you can get at level 1 just for the sake of, you know, keeping stuff accurate, I suppose is the easiest word to put there. First of all, we're going to see just how we do up against an enemy here with just the basic level 1, fresh out of the sewer. We've got quite a bit of, you know, strength attributes and stuff going on for us. Wow, dude, what is this set to right now? Gameplay. Okay, so we're at middle gameplay, so that's fine. We'll keep that there. So let's see. Oops, wrong potion. So it's going not too bad, but not too great. I mean, it's a pretty even matched fight there. We didn't kill him too quickly, but we made decent work of him. Should we kill another? I think we should kill another. Oh, she got a big old weapon there. Alright. Alright, so she gone. And let's make sure... I mean, not that anything could have gotten that damage in that amount of time. Oh no, I don't have any repair hammers. Alright, so now you guys got a good idea of how a character will do, you know, just fresh out of the sewer. We didn't do too bad, we didn't do too great either. I got my armor and my weapons all repaired up and stuff just to get it all back to where it should be. And we're gonna now emulate what would happen if you actually sat there and trained all your skills up. You know, you trained your blade up to level 100, you trained your this, that, and the other up to level 100. We're gonna simulate all that stuff here. We're gonna raise some levels here. So hold on, let me get... Alright, so now I've got it so that my light armor is 100, my blade's 100, and my block is 100. I could, of course, do other stuff like speed and, you know, acrobatics to show you how fucking crazy that can be. But, you know, we don't need to see how fast and high you can jump and all that stuff. We just need to see how much damage we can do at level 1. So, I mean, this is all stuff that you could do. You know, you can just, you know, drip feed yourself potions while you get attacked by fucking mud crabs. Or you can sit there and grind on, like, essential characters or whatever the hell until you get your blade up to 100. There's all sorts of stuff you can do to just grind out your skills to 100. So I mean that's not necessarily far off from reality. It just takes a lot of time, but it is possible. So this is what it would be like here. I kind of forgot. I mean, I guess we can look back at the video footage for the original values on this. But now this is we do 12 damage with this as opposed to, you know, whatever we did before. I'll, like, you know, put that in like a little bit of a text bubble here or something. So yeah, you'll see that we get 12 there. This stuff should be a little bit better at protecting us. Doesn't look by much. I don't know what it was before, but it's still pretty low in the numbers there. But it is low level equipment too, so you have to remember that. So yeah, let's see how we do up against some enemies again here. Of course, she's got a fucking bow. Come on, man. Let's see. So the damage we get is still. Wow, dude, you're such a fucking pussy. My God, let me fucking fight you for the love of fucking Christ. Wow, 2 hits and you're down. No wonder you didn't want me to fucking hit you. So here we go, an actual warrior to fight. So this will be a little bit more relevant. This guy looking like Dagoth there. Wow, 1 tap and he's down. And remember, this is without mods. So I mean, like the first time I did this, it was like pretty exaggerated. But I mean, my point still stands. Like if you keep your character at level 1 and you get all your skills up, you will be an overpowered character. I mean, those fights before, they were pretty evenly matched fights. I'm gonna turn up the difficulty here, and we'll see what kind of damage I can still do. So let's see about this person here. So damage, the difficulty's all the way up now. So yeah, now we're in a little bit more of an even standpoint again. It's too bad I didn't do the original test with a hard difficulty, but I mean, I assure you, these guys would have been pretty hard to fight had it been at a lower difficulty setting. And it looks like I fucking disarmed her. I just like completely destroyed her sword or something. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, that's about it for this video. I just kind of wanted to, you know, correct a couple of the mistakes that I made. Or not really mistakes that I made, just like the big fundamental mistake that I made where I still had a pretty crucial mod active that completely affected damage outputs and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really unfair video to make because it wasn't representative of the actual game Oblivion. But this one is. This is a vanilla Oblivion. This guy's actually pretty. Oh, he's the ringleader. I was about to say this guy's pretty strong. He's not dying too quickly. But yeah, you can see by this video, if you keep your character at level 1 and you just get up your minor skills, or at least, you know, the skills that you plan on using that you've set to your minor skills, if you keep those, if you keep raising those and you know, get them up to 100 and you keep your overall level at level 1 and you try not to touch any of those other skills and stuff, you will see success with this method. I don't know how far this can bring you in the game because I know most of the game is leveled, but not all of it is. So I mean, you might finally get to a point where you get to one of those bosses who isn't leveled and you just get completely mollywopped on. But you also have to remember that there's all sorts of enchantments and stuff you can get along the way too. So I mean, that's always a thing as well. But yeah, I mean, even the enchantments are leveled. Like if you're getting sigil stones and stuff, there's still only so much you can do with that. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's enough rambling on this one. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to see more of this content or any more of my gaming content. Make sure you're leaving suggestions down in the comments below as well, because you know, if you leave suggestions, I'll read them and I'll make videos out of them. So you know, hold me to that. Leave some comments for me. And yeah, with that being said, this has been Plock the Master Gamer with some Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.